Okay, well, good morning, Thomas. We've
Morning.
done a little bit of chatting, but as you know, I went clam digging this morning and hence the clam dig hairdo. But what I found out is that while I recorded and the pictures were beautiful, you couldn't hear a word I said. So I did,
Oh,
I was in on probably most of the call this morning, and I don't know. It just seemed like to kind of be a rehash of everything we've talked about in every other call.
it wasn't too exciting. The biggest thing I learned is that, man, some people will spend all day on this, years on this, with a terrible niche, doing basically terrible business, but just are so gung ho on it that they
They're
don't want to
invested in
change.
the process.
Listen to the process. Yeah, you listen to the guy who did shot glasses.
I couldn't believe that. How
You
many
hear what his
shot
ASP
glasses?
was?
No. What was
$11.
I'm working toward that. Um,
$11, and Chris was even like,
man, I wouldn't get out of the bed for $11 sale.
it's exactly. Yeah. Chris was like, what percent of that do you think is profit? Like $3? And he's like, yeah, probably about $3. If I'm making $3 on an item, it better be a piece of clothing that's been sitting around for the last 2 years,
And
or
you're buying some sales.
or some stained shirt, something like that, some like bad buy that I listed anyways, kind of thing. I mean, like if I'm not making a dinner with every sale, I'm kind of like, what the fuck am I doing?
Well, I
You
did.
know, an Applebee's thing, a $20 dinner or whatever. Hold on,
Yeah.
I got an offer.
Show off.
Show. I think it blacks the screen out when I do that.
But did I mention I got clams?
You didn't. So I was like, did you actually get any? Did you
Oh,
get any?
we always get our limit.
Oh, you do.
Oh, I told you I do not fail.
Okay. So how many did you get?
The limit is 15 each. So Bill and I went out and my brother-in-law went with us. So we got 45.
Okay.
And I'm picking up a friend who's coming in from Malaysia today. And I'm going to wait, and he loves to clean clams and it's a pain in the ass. So I'm going to pick him up in Portland today, maybe hit the bins and then come back and he'll clean lambs. And then he's a wonderful cook too. So he'll cook dinner for us. I mean, life
God,
is.
God, that sounds difficult.
But clam season I only have, there are two things. There's this clam season, which will be over July 15th. And then you don't clam every day. You only clam when the tides are good. And the tides are good this week. And then not again until, if at all, until the end of, middle of July, I think. So
okay.
we'll have to figure some way around it, like maybe do our call, depending on when the clam tide is. If it's in the afternoon, no problem. So we'll kind of work around that. But
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
as I was clam digging, I was going back to our conversation yesterday, which got kind of philosophical about why we do this. I don't want to do it to the extent that I can't go clam digging wait till you see the pictures. I mean, it takes your breath away. The other thing,
how much of this, how big do you view no longer being able to clam dig? That's pretty significant. If it took you, what, 2-3 hours to go dig clams?
On the way home, I heard that a building collapsed into the river.
No way. Go check that out.
And it was absolutely, it was one of my favorite beer joints. So
oh shit.
Yeah, so we went down and I took pictures of the restaurant part of it and the bar and in the drink. And
free booze.
Very off. And then I got home and fooled around with clams for a minute. Hey Bill, give me a bucket of clams, would you?
Okay.
So I guess it's not how big, because since I run on a 24-hour clock, that gets back to that damn schedule thing again. My schedule is built around what is most important for me that day. So the first thing I do in the morning might be clam digging, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do my listing 3 hours later. I don't want to get to the point where, again, I keep saying this, but the process becomes the important thing. The result is the important thing, not the process. Now we need processes because we're not born with the ability to know how to run an effective eBay store. And, Chris and Tech have that knowledge. So I want to learn their processes, but I don't want to be locked into a particular time, like, oh my God, it's 7:15. I should be, listing right now. Maybe I want to list at 7:15. Hold on, I'm looking to show you a plan.
Go for it.
Ah!
Damn.
All right, so these are, I got them sitting in salt water.
That's awesome.
Yeah, aren't they great? Look at this nice one.
I take it they're full of sand. That's the cleaning process that sucks.
No, yeah, well, you have to pry them open. I actually drip them in boiling water for about 5 seconds and they pop open. But then I'm real particular, ouch, ow, about getting all of about getting all of the these are things that are still alive, about getting all the sand and the guts and stuff out.
Yeah, it seems tedious.
Yeah, and then we freeze them and have them, all winter. So I have a freezer.
Oh, okay, cool.
So the other thing is, I don't want to ever stop spontaneously dancing with Bill out in the moonlight on the deck. Because sometimes
so then don't. So
I'm not. So I don't think big is not the answer. Big isn't the issue. It's timing. And I think that's why I was bucking and whining about being locked into somebody else's schedule. It starts at 5 a.m. So I don't know.
I don't know. I need a schedule, but we're very different people. I'd say, I mean, you dancing spontaneously and going clam digging and doing all these things, it's a totally different, you need to live and should live a totally different lifestyle than I am right now. My lifestyle is, I have not made a lot of money in my life. And now that I have the opportunity to, I need to do it. I need to make as much money as fast as I can, as long as I can, so that I can be, at least this is how I think, so that I can be stable and, comfortable the rest of my life, because I don't know how long this is going to last. You're older, have already done that whole thing. So this should just be gravy. This should be, if you're not having fun with this, you should stop, which I think is a lot of people that are in the group and a lot of people that do eBay. A lot of people, sales are fun, the results of sales and the money's nice. But the result of, I think, the result of it for you should be fun. If you're not digging it anymore, like you're not pulling out the amount of, you're not pulling money that you need to live from this. This is not your money, right?
No, but I'm pulling the money I need to travel. And for me, that's living. This is my travel budget.
I'm saying, like, okay, are you comfortable right now financially? Like, hey, we're going to France, and you're going to France and you blow 5-10 grand in.
Oh, I'm not going to blow 5-10 grand. And no, while I could, I mean, when you get to a certain age, you begin looking at, what do you have in your bank? Like your listing bank, what do you have as far as resources? And you can't say, well, I can always go out and, get another job. Although I probably could go out and get another job, but
you could easily go out. You could, at least.
I know I could. And so you just look at your resources and you absolutely prioritize, and don't think, I mean, I'm not one of those rich ladies who says, eBay would be a lark. I think I'll sell, baby dolls. I did it first because it fascinated me, but it also was a way for me not to go find some other job to do. So I would not feel guilty about spending what I want to spend on travel. On a normal year, we are out of country probably at least 4 or 5 times a year. We don't travel lavishly, and that's important to me. So don't, eBay isn't a passing fancy for me.
Okay, good. So then I'm wrong. It's not all about having fun. For me, the most fun that I had doing this was when I was an everything seller. When you go to garage sales and you look up everything and you're like, oh my God, look at this crazy electronic thing that's worth $200. Like, I don't do that anymore. Now stuff comes, stuff leaves. It's all about just
I don't do
the
it
money
either.
side of it.
You know, and I thought that was going to be the fun part for me. The fun part for me is figuring out that, you know, the algorithm fascinates me. I'm a math nerd. The algorithm fascinates me. And where there is an algorithm, there are cracks in it.
Mhm.
I spend a certain amount of time just trying to try different things to see if I can move the needle a little bit on the algorithm.
I think you can really only play with the algorithm and have some real impact, like learn something from it, if you have enough listings. And how many you at, like 900 or something?
850 or something like that.
Yeah, no, you got to get about 5 times more than that, I think, of all similar stuff before it
But
starts
then do
being
I have to
meaningful.
hire people? I never want to hire anybody.
Why do you have to hire anybody? You're doing 6 a day. Just do 15 a day. And in 30 days, that's 450 more. And if
I mean,
you're only selling 200,
yeah, I'm not selling that much. You know, a good day for me is like 4 or 5 sales.
yeah. But I mean, if you're listing 6 a day, you're basically at quote unquote nirvana, which means you're not going to surpass 1,000 real quick, right? It sounds like at your current state, you'll probably hit 1,000 and probably stay around there unless you figure out some
Hit
sale thing.
1,000, make $20 per sale,
Good.
and list 10 and sell 10. That would give me, I don't know, something like 100 and I don't know what, give me a nice little cushion of gross. And that
Gotcha.
would fund my traveling habit. I
I
don't,
say you do 20 a day, but that's just me.
and for that, I'm going to have a little more discipline. Like I told you yesterday, I said, yeah, I'd really like to do 20. I did 10.
No, you could easily do 20. It just takes practice. Because you could photograph 20 in an hour and then you could list 20 in an hour.
I'm not sure I can, and I'm not sure why I can't. I think a lot of it has to do with,
You will.
I
You
think
will. Trust me. You
even
will.
with these stupid cargo, the shorts that I've been listing, I now pretty much know that shorts are going to go for $12 to $15. It's what you list them for, unless they're, you know, something, a board short that's an exotic.
Polo. I have some. I was listing, photographing a bunch of stuff because I just have boxes full of stuff I got years ago and never did anything with. So now it's like Christmas, open them all up again. I was photographing a whole bunch of vintage swim trunks by like, you know, crazy brands, like vintage Quicksilvers from the 70s and stuff, which are not worth a ton of money, but it's still pretty cool. But there are vintage Jams World board shorts in there. So Jams World is a brand to look out for. The tag looks, even if it's new, it looks old. And it's usually just really bright colors that are like eye popping and whatnot. I don't know what these shorts are worth, but they're vintage and they are dope as heck. They are bright colors, all this stuff. I'm hoping they're like $150 shorts. I'll see real soon because I'm going to list them today. But
Are you going to research it first and then list them?
of course, not an idiot. Of course. I mean, I'm going to type in, like, the amount of research I'll do on this is vintage Jams World shorts sold, highest to lowest. I'm guessing mine is up in the highest to lowest, is like up near the top. They're not dead. They don't have tags, but they're in perfect condition. And I'll just pick one of the higher ones, list about that level. They're so dope. And I know they're going to get offers really quick. Like after you do this well, you know what to take offers on and what not to take offers on. I'm not going to take like anything more than like 10 to 15% off. But all that just comes with time, knowing that like that's a good item that you don't run a coupon on, that you don't do this on. Comes with time.
Have very many. I don't know when I find a good item, and that's so right now I think I'm spending too much time researching a $15 item. So what if it's 25? It doesn't matter. For the amount of time I'm spending differentiating between 15 and 22.50, I could be listing 3 more things.
So the difference between 15 and 2250 is scale. So like that matters to Tech, that matters to Chris, that doesn't matter to you. Because what you need to be getting are the things that are 30 plus, which people are always like, they don't exist. Bullshit, they're always there. Whenever I go, I always find them. It's not an issue.
It's just a matter of recognizing them. It's like, you know what? It's like when I take somebody clam digging, they say there aren't any clams. And I'm saying, what the hell are you talking about? And they said, well, last time I
Yep.
was here, the clams the clams show were holes and now they're looking like, I said, well, go a bunch of times and you'll figure it out. It's not all
Exactly.
the same. So I walk down the beach and there are people, you know, with their fingers up their nose. And I'm saying, are you here to dig clams? That one, that one, that one, and that one. Or
Okay.
by going in the surf.
Okay, fun hint. In the ranking of clothes, generally the items that sell for the most are coats. Then it's sweaters. Then basically pants / jeans and then tops. However, in the ranking of like things that are easiest to photograph goes tops, then sweaters, in my mind, then coats, and then pants. So that's why when I go into the thrift store, I go to the coats first, regardless of the season. So you can usually pick out every coat, regardless of season. Most coats are worth $30. They take forever to, a lot of them take forever to sell.
I thought, well, you know, they're hard to ship.
No,
However, with
nope.
my suck machine, remember that I showed
Oh,
you?
yeah. Nope, no. So you go into a thrift
My
store.
suck machine.
Yeah, good stuff. So you go into a thrift store, you look at the coats, you look up all the coats. Some fun hints, if it's a brand that you recognize, like, you know, North Face or Patagonia or something, you know that it's worth money. You know, you can easily look it up because they usually have a model number or something on the sleeve or whatnot you can look up. The lesser brands that would fall below that, which would be like Eddie Bauer, some of those are worth a decent amount, some aren't. And the things that differentiate between whether or not a normal average jacket is worth money or not is the age it was made. So if it's vintage, which you just get an understanding of by looking at tag, but also the fabric content and what's in it. So if it's a down Eddie Bauer jacket, the least you'll ever get is least you should ever take is $30. However, some Eddie Bauers, like if they're vintage, can go up to 100, 120, 150 bucks. And something like Eddie Bauer is really easy to tell if it's vintage or not, just because the tag itself, like an Eddie Bauer tag that's vintage will be black with yellow / gold mountains on it.
Okay, this helps because we live in Eddie Bauer territory here.
Yep,
We have Eddie Bauer stores here. We have the discount stores. The thrift stores are full of Eddie Bauer to the point where I don't pick them up.
Yep, all that stuff. So you are your areas are full of what I'm guessing is that outdoor performance type stuff.
Yeah.
So that's something that you need to lean into. Even though there's a ton of it, there's not a ton of it in other areas. Like if you go down south, you won't find any of it. And a lot of that stuff has a higher average selling point, higher average selling price because it's just good. Like an average Eddie Bauer button-down shirt, if it's flannel, go for $15 plus shipping. So there's some like Eddie Bauer cheap enough is almost always a pickup for me. Any Eddie Bauer sweater will go for at least 20 bucks. And in the ranking of sweaters, when you're going through men's sweaters, the really, 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 really soft ones, so the cashmere ones, typically worth the most. The next are the scratchy wool ones, the ones you touch and you're like, I don't want to ever wear that.
Out on my body.
Exactly, those are worth the second most. The next ones are are like the soft wool ones, the merino wool ones, and then any of like the polyester cottons are below that.
Below that.
So if you're looking at, and there's some exceptions, like a really thick Aran fisherman, like
We get those.
Ireland sweater that's all cable knit, that's usually like, yeah, those, even if they're cotton, 50 minimum. An old J. Crew one is 60, 70 bucks, 50 minimum.
This is all Scandinavian, generations of Scandinavians here. So there's lots of that, and fishermen. Well, my dad was a fisherman, so there's lots of that around here. I really have not paid attention to what we have that others may not.
Yep. So that's what you'll have
Hmm.
from what it sounds like you're telling me. So I said, first is coats, right? I'll look through the men's coats and I look through the women's coats because I sell both. I sell both genders. So I'm very familiar with both.
Excuse me, what do you charge for shipping on a coat?
I do calculated shipping.
I don't, because I'm up in the East Jesus and it scares people away.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you don't. So the way I think about it is, since I'm in middle of Michigan, it's not a big deal for me to do calculated. The most people will pay is like, if I'm shipping a 5-pound pair of boots to Washington, typically it's like $20, which is a lot of money. But
Yeah.
I can then ship it in a box and usually only spend about 12 to 15. So I make a little bit of money on the shipping. But if you're like doing coats, doing boots or whatever, you want to figure out the flat rate boxes. You can usually fit any coat. If you're packing it, you can fit a lot of coats into a medium flat rate box.
The suck machine.
The suck machine, there you go. And then you can fit any coat. You should be able to fit any coat into a large flat rate box.
Oh,
And I think those are like,
yeah.
I think those are like
regional
15 or
boxes?
16.
You use regional boxes?
So I don't, because none of it is ever cheaper for me or easier for me than using, because I'm calculated. I totally have a cheat code on that, being in the middle of the country. If I'm shipping something dense, like jewelry or something, a bag of jewelry to somebody, then I'll use a flat rate box, but I don't even have them around here. I just hold on to them when someone ships them to me so I can reuse them.
And anything over a pound for me, I've got to try to fit it in something flat rate. Because
yep, I do too. Don't worry.
Florida.
I do too. Don't worry. Most things, like any pair of jeans, I can fit into a cardboard mailer. Most coats. Well, I can show you how to do it, but it's really simple. You make sure that it fits into, if you can, a 7 by 10 inch poly mailer first. So you slide it in there, and then that's basically the dimensions of the flat rate cardboard mailer.
Okay.
And the like slipperiness of the original like gray poly mailer easily slides and then doesn't like contort itself weird in the cardboard mailer. And then you pull off the strip, lay it flat so that the sticker side is up, and you roll it onto the sticker side. And as a pair of jeans, the crease is almost always flat across. If you're doing a big sweater in there, which I do very frequently, you'll end up with a few ripples on it, and then you can put a piece of tape across. But
tell your girlfriend, or she probably already knows this, that when she can't get her riding boots on, I know she knows this. The thing we always kept were old dry cleaner bags. Because you put your foot in the corner of a dry cleaner bag and put the boot on with your dry cleaner bag on, and it goes right on.
And you can pull a dry cleaner bag right out.
Oh, yeah, pull what's left of the bag. Some of it leaves in, who cares? But
yeah, exactly.
That used to be the biggest, especially I have freakily high arches. I'm a fetisher's dream. And so getting boots was really an issue.
It's a 12 double A. It's like impossible to find shoes.
Oh, wow. A 12 double A.
Yeah, super skinny 5'11". Huh. Yep.
She sounds like because her legs will wrap around the horse. People with short legs have right away they have a problem because they can't hit the places where the horse is looking for the telegraph.
Hey Sally, hey. I was spouting you gold back there about what to look for.
Yeah.
And you then told me about horses.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I need you to be like, wow, really cool, Thomas. What about this kind of coat?
Because
what
it's
about
my job
this
to
kind
make
of thing?
you feel happy.
Partly that, and also partly because it makes me feel like you were listening to the knowledge I was spouting out.
I apologize. You know what? Here's the problem. I take off the mask with you. I have my whole life I drive people nuts because in my youth, I could carry on 5 independent thoughts coherently at one time. I'm down now about 3. So I was listening to every word you said.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
But so like, I have to watch when I put the mask on, I don't do that because Bill's used to it, that I'll pull from one of my things and I'll say, ha, I figured it out. And he'll say, what?
Okay, good.
Reason that didn't work. So please don't, I could probably recite what you said verbatim and it doesn't interrupt
It's
the other.
impressive. Okay, good. Well, then never mind.
Yeah. So we're going to coats first, and you usually go to the men's coats first and then the women.
Yep.
And if it's brands that I'm really comfortable knowing about, like a Patagonia or something like that, then or the North Face, yes, but
Mhm.
even some Eddie Bauers are going to be good. And for example, if they're down and they're have any age to them at all, and you can tell the age of an Eddie. See, I listened to every word you said, and I can read.
You're pretty good. Pretty good. And that
you are so
that-
fascinating, Thomas. I don't know how
I'm
I
s-
can listen to anything.
I'm so good. I'm insulted.
You're just so good. And
I'm insulted,
I just
Sally.
hang on every word you say.
I'm amazing. The sweater truths, by the way, are the same for coats. So if you when you're looking at coats, if you find a full cashmere coat, just rare, buy it every time. The least you'll ever get for a full cashmere coat, which the least is usually a vintage one that just says 100% cashmere, no brand. You'll
Can I
get
go get a
$100
coat
for
and
it.
show
Easy.
you? I'm gonna
Yeah, sure.
talk among yourself. Oh, you're all alone.
Yeah, I know. Oh, how you doing, Pickles? Oh, you're all the way over there. I can't see you. Oh, yeah, pretty good, huh? Yep, definitely. Oh, yep. Oh, do you want to go for a few walks in the park today? Yeah, we'll do one. We'll do a few laps. How many laps do you think you want to do? Well, we did 5 yesterday, which was the most we've ever done. So how about, I don't know, like
Stand
3
back.
laps? Because it's really hot today. That's a good one. Is that lambskin?
It's called Charles Klein. I bought it at Goodwill for, I'm not kidding you, $3.
What's it say?
It
What's the
says
fabric content?
Charles Klein, shell, genuine leather.
Good.
Body lining, 100% acrylic, sleeve lining, 100% nylon, sleeve filler, 100% polyester, made in China.
So,
Leather clean only. It has a hood.
okay, so like the keywords you would use for that are like Marlboro Man.
Oh, really? Okay.
You'd say faux sheepskin. If you say sheepskin, you can't list it internationally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's not sheepskin. If you find one that's sheepskin, which is it's beautiful, Sally. If you find one that's sheepskin, it's worth about a minimum of 150. God, stunning, Sally.
I know. I've had it for probably a year because I thought, that's a good deal. But the other thing boy, I'm glad we're talking about this morning, is I went to a rich lady's estate sale. And she had because I lived in Alaska, I recognized a pair of made in Canada sealskin boots.
Always good.
On it. But how do you authenticate something like that?
That wouldn't be fake. That'd never be faked.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. The only things that are faked are brands. No one would fake a random one-off pair of sealskin boots.
Wow.
Trust me. Yeah, no, they're real. Whatever they are, they're real. They fake jerseys, they fake brands.
Oh, that's interesting, but they don't fake content unless it's associated with a brand.
Absolutely.
Huh. Well, I haven't done anything with them because I was afraid of listing it. By the way, I got not a Vero, but I got a thing from eBay that said they pulled one of my listings because it was counterfeit. It is, and it's why it's a racing jersey, a Fox racing jersey. It wasn't even very expensive. I got a couple lowball offers, which I declined, and then all of a sudden I get this. So I pulled it, but.
Yep. Yeah, pull it. I mean, they pull it already. Yeah, the great thing about those are they don't count against your account. Like the Veros stack up and they do damage. The counterfeit item policies scare you, but they don't actually, give you a suspension or anything.
Would
so
you
just avoid it.
On Poshmark or something?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I wouldn't, because the only things I list on Poshmark are things that are like really worth my time. Like I have a Tiffany bracelet on there that I'm 99% sure is real, but I'm not risking my eBay account for it. So like I have that on there and a bunch of sunglasses because I have a lot of them. So I cross-listed them onto Poshmark, which I think is, the value of it. But other than that, no, if it's a $15, $20 sweater, I just leave it on eBay or basically throw it away if that counterfeit item came along.
I'll wear it clammed. Did I mention I got clams today?
No, you didn't.
Well, it's okay. So tell me 2 bolos to look for at the bins today. Just 2, because I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. What will I look for?
So rather than brands, I'll tell you like types of items. Okay. Scratchy wool sweaters. They're often vintage.
Ugh.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't matter. They're often vintage, and they're often men's. And even if they're not vintage, they're still good.
Okay.
You'll know that they're scratchy and good because it'll say Shetland wool on it, which is just a breed of sheep. It's a really shitty, awful breed of sheep, but people
Also,
like the
breed of
wool.
horse, by the way. Don't get them confused.
Yep. So scratchy wool sweaters. And then next thing is, God, it's hard to describe old denim, but jeans that are thicker, they'll feel thicker.
Lady pant, old man pants.
Old man pants, but not pants, jeans. You want to, denim, older denim is just thicker. Like if you feel the stuff nowadays that has a little bit of spandex in it, which is most jeans, thin. Old jeans, thick. And it goes the same thing with jean jackets. Any of that stuff, particularly Levi's, is worth money. And even if it's not Levi's, if it's Lee or just some older brand, random brand, still worth money and still worth picking up.
Was it you that we thought maybe I had found some Grail and jeans? Was that you? I haven't listed them yet because I'm sulking.
Those are 35 to 40 a pop, by the way.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. They're brand new 501s from 2006.
5 pair of them listening. The other thing I haven't listed that we talked about was that Prada jacket, because I can't find comps that are over about $50 for my Prada.
I told you, put it at 200. It's a cool one with hidden buttons. Put it at 200, take 150.
Okay, I'm going to list it because who cares? It may not sell, but I just couldn't find any comps.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Do that.
And tell me what's the best, what are some keywords for that one? Start out with Prada suit jacket.
Prada women's sport jacket, blazer.
Oh, sport jacket, blazer.
No, just say Prada women's blazer jacket.
Hidden buttons?
No, then you want to do European, so EUR 42 or whatever size it is.
By the way, that is not a 12. It is tiny.
Okay, well then make it an 8 or a 10.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Okay, women's. That's the one thing that annoys me. I don't have a good feeling for women's sizes.
Yeah, get your girlfriend to try it on. She'll tell you in a heartbeat if it's a 4 or it's a 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, put the measurements on.
Yep, yeah. EUR something, US, whatever the size you think is. Black, hidden buttons.
It's gray.
Gray, hidden buttons. Wool blend, right?
How do I?
Whatever it is, it'll say in it. It'll say in the fabric tag. And then you'll say recent, because it's the hidden buttons is pretty recent.
It says Milano on it. Is that a style?
Doesn't matter. No, it just says that they just say that because it's made in Milan.
Oh, here's the care tag. Shit.
It says wool on there. You sent it to me.
Did I? Okay. Yeah, it's in every language in the world except English.
Yep. So you can so that's how I identified it as real. And there's no fake ones. We'll have a lot of those, but then the last tag will be like a receipt paper thing. That one's absolutely real. No problem.
All right, so I'll list that. So what's the other thing I ought to look for? I got scratchy sweaters and old denim.
Yep, scratchy sweaters, old denim. And then I could also say anything super soft, anything cashmere is worth picking up, anything Angora is worth picking up, anything mohair is worth picking up. And you can really, you can tell a lot of those things because mohair is super duper fuzzy and it's usually really bright colors, purple, pink, orange, and it's usually open knit. So the knitting is really like wide in between them. Probably the easiest fabric to spot just because it's so obvious looking. Any of those sweaters that you will get you over 30 bucks easy every time.
All right, well, I think that we'll probably leave soon enough for me to go to the bins. We're picking him up at the airport and dropping him off at his house, and then we'll bring him home. Yeah, I think I'll have time. I'll do that. It's a pretty good bin store up by the Portland airport.
I'm sure it's amazing. It's Portland. Okay, so before we go,
Yeah.
major takeaways from the call this morning, because it was kind of, you know, repetitive from the sense of what many of the other calls have been about. What were your takeaways?
Well, I think that you hit on it earlier when you said the guy with the shot glasses brought back that point that keeps homing in on me, especially this week, and that is selling a lot of $1 profit items doesn't buy me a trip to France.
No, it doesn't.
So I'm trying, you know, in our discussions, this helps me a lot to try to eke up. I think you said I was like at 22 average sale now. I'd love to get up to, 30 average sale.
You should,
It's trending down right now because I'm selling a lot of hats and crap.
honestly, listing 6 a day, you should get up to 40.
40 what?
40 per item.
Not if I keep listing hats and t-shirts.
I know, I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
you'll get better at this, and I know that you're very smart and capable, so you'll get it up to about 40.
And you were so interesting. I've just hung on every single word you've said.
I know, it's
I
been
did-
so obvious to me.
It's
God,
hard for
I'm
me to
just so
even spend
thrilling.
23 hours between now and the time I get to listen to you drop those pearls of wisdom again.
Sally, it's gonna be less because we're gonna do it earlier tomorrow.
Eh? Oh, well, let me see. Today I
Because
left clamming.
we did it at noon today.
Well, that's your time. Yeah. Are you kidding me? What time is it? Right now, my watch even
9
got
o'clock.
early. I don't know what time it is, but what time is it? What time is it?
It's 12:20.
Okay, when the call comes on in the morning, Chris's call, it's 6 o'clock in the morning for me.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And it's what time for you? 10?
9, 3-hour difference. Aren't you like 85 years old, Sally? You should know the difference between PST and Eastern time.
No, here's the point. I don't give a shit.
I don't care if you don't give a shit. It's
I
just a
don't
fact
care.
of
I
life.
don't care.
It's a fact of life. It's like I don't know how to tell time. Well, you should just be able to know that kind of thing.
I can tell time with a sundial because they
Kind
were
of
invented
important.
when
I
I was
don't care.
born. As the kids said in the olden days.
That was all we had. That was all we had back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, and we did fine, you whippersnapper. All right.
Okay.
Do we have
Yep, I'd
time
say so.
left?
Chris just messaged me and said, "Can you resend?" So I'll resend it. The first one. Of
Why? You know why? It's because he trash canned it the first time.
course he did. Went to spam. Of course he
You
did.
know what? He told me on that infamous, I'm gonna stop doing this right now. All right, so we'll catch up with you tomorrow, but don't hang up.